Hey everybody, this is Amanda. I'm sorry this is late. I'm going on my first walk all week long. I appreciate the goal of getting out of the house. The 8th week of class seems to be a particularly challenging one to do that, so I'm glad to be out this morning. It's a rare foggy morning. It's been really foggy. It's starting to clear off now in Denver, Colorado. And I am walking my two dogs. That's Sylvia up there with the white tush, and this is Olive. Hi, say hi, Olive. Olive is a centenarian in dog years. She's still trucking along though. We've had her since about the time my husband and I met and moved in together in Mount Olive, near Mount Olive, Alabama was where we rescued her. So anyway, they've been neglected too this week. So it is great to get out and put my boots on and trudge on the earth. And I brought you all out here virtually because this connection to the land is something I've found myself coming back to. I grew up on acreage in rural Oklahoma and always felt buoyed by the land and held by it and connected with it deeply as a kid. And then from my early teens, middle school years, for various reasons, I think, and up till now I'm 40, and I've recently in the past few years come to appreciate these meandering walks just in the middle of nowhere. We're actually in the middle of Denver, on the east side of Denver. My house is right over that way. We're fortunate enough to live near an open space, as Denver has lots of open spaces. Hold on one second. Sylvie, come here. Come here. Here she comes. She's a good dog. So I'm out here because this reconnection has been something that time has brought me. Kids in school, I can take a study break, usually a couple times a week, and come out onto my little prairie space here. And the connection, though, has made me remember, and that's such an interesting process to be in a place that you don't just remember your history, but your memories start to come up too. And when I met the Indigenous grandmothers in 2012, I learned a lot about, I started to remember anyway, and learned too about that connection to the earth that our culture seems to dismiss. I see all kinds of things out here. It's basically just part of an old Air Force base. We live where Lowry Air Force Base used to be. It was actually also the first Air Force Academy, and it's been decommissioned and then turned into a residential community. So this is all part of the old Air Force Base. This is a dam, actually, that has a reservoir on the other side, a small reservoir. And I see all kinds of things when I'm on my walks. It doesn't look like you would from a distance, but once you start the process of walking, I see all kinds of birds. I feel kind of like an old lady because I'm suddenly enamored with birds and pay attention to the kinds of birds I see, but there's a huge variety. We have a lot of hawks and falcons out here. You can often see hawks hunting for their breakfasts in the morning, and maybe flying away with a mouse or a snake sometimes. I do see snakes on the trail. If it's a sunny day when the air is cool, then the sun is warm, you can almost always see a good-sized bull snake stretched out across the path. And that gets my blood going in an interesting way. That's kind of fun. And I brought you out here because this has become my place to think and remember, get a little movement and exercise, and reconnect. And in this process of reconnecting, I'm finding things coming up that I hope will be interesting to all of us, to, I think, our dominant American culture especially, and I am particularly connected with the women, and wondering, hoping that my experience of reconnecting, finding courage in that connection with the earth, can help those of us who have been in a industrialized, civilized, European-based culture for a long time, maybe can find some use in embracing to find a better identity, a more adventurous spirit, to find maybe a new path out of all this stuff we're going through. That may sound vague, and that's because it is, because it's still very much in process. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Have a great weekend.